Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. Final day of March. Final day of the first quarter. It's Tuesday. We're gonna look at 0-day options on SPY and small account challenge. Wow, look at those candles. 641.71, 648.99. Almost 9 points. Is that right? No, almost 8 points. Almost 8 points from there to there. Iran said they want the war to end or something, and that was that. Let's get into earlier in the day where that crazy couple came. Ivy was, it's still elevated. We had a pretty big gap up this morning. Yeah, we gapped up already, like up to here. So this is Eric's 30-minute chart. He's SPY day trading on YouTube. Check him out. His Discord's linked in the description as well. Gapped up and just built a pretty big range of liquidity underneath and around 5-day here. We had a gap below us, of course, and there was actually also a gap right up to here. This gap right there. So, yeah, this morning, again, gap trap, liquidity being built. And I traded a little better, I feel like. I wasn't trying not to be too hasty. Definitely got a little tilted today, though. Lost my cool for a little bit. Had to step away. Let's see. First trade was at 9:50. So there's data, there's news at 9:45 and 10. A couple potential catalysts. This morning I charted this gray for the bullish controlled selling right here. Supports resistance. And then it broke it and then retested right there. Giving me pretty good confirmation on that. This green I hadn't charted until later on in the day. But I actually got it from right here. This resistance flipping into support and then the resistance here. So that little price action is how I saw the green, which came in pretty clutch later. Gold, I had gold in here as potential for just buying continuation, but not very aggressive. Red, this steeper one, was the aggressive buying continuation. That's all I charted this morning. Yeah, this white. Yeah, this white actually came in. I was happy I saw this white also. I saw this later, like here, I think, or here. I can't remember. Anyways, 9:50 was my first trade. I was in a call at. It's crazy sometimes. You see like one trade, and that's basically the profits you have in the whole day. It's your first trade, and then you see like 25 trades after that just to go nowhere. I mean, you go red, you go green. Anyways, 153 I bought it at 9:50 was a call. So a little inverse head and shoulder here. Retesting gray. Buying up in the gold though. So gold is resistance here. Big candle out of gold. We had target to the upside. We had 5-day. We had a gap fill up there. We also had a gap to the bottom. This structure was a little tight for me to want to get involved with. Yeah. And with the gold right here, I was like, hey, maybe if it comes back down and retest, I'll get it for that go. But then it broke above the gold and the steeper red. So this was where I got in right here, I think. Let's see, yeah, 9:50. I got a call right here. Not here. It was like here. So it broke out, and I was kind of using red to manage it. But realistically, I was going to have gold for my stop if I needed to. So ended up being gold, consolidated. I just kind of held. Thankfully, it started to go, and closed it on this candle right here, right up there. Oh wait, no. Yeah, on this candle. Just as it was breaking the red. Since it was kind of a breakout trade here, that's all I needed. But that was almost a point. 641 to 53, 642.37. Yeah, almost a point there. That was 153, $1.53 to $1.90. So yeah, not bad in that tight little range. Continue to sell up in the gold, in this elevated gold channel. I didn't mess with that. Considered getting puts on the break here. I'm like, I'll just be patient, maybe wait for this. Let's see what I did next though. At 10:15 I got a call. Okay, so this was a retracement trade or a wedge trade, considering gold was the bottom of the wedge. Yeah, I got in right here for gold being my stop. And thinking this is the shoulder, this is the head. And at that point I thought this was the flattest, the furthest part of the wedge. It never usually is though when it's that aggressive. So got in right here, 10:15, and this wicked me. Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, nasty. That was 149 to 131. Gave back half of the profits from the trade prior. Yeah, because that was 20 cents. So that was annoying. Then it just came up and went anyways. Wasn't really respecting gold though at that point. I think I charted gray then pretty shortly after that for a bullish controlled selling. You can see here. But I had charted back here somewhere. Yeah. Let's see. Next trade was at 10:39. It was a call. Yeah, I got back in. Okay, yeah. So then I had charted this white or this gray, which is a bullish controlled selling, but it is going in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's a little bit. So when it came down here, I was going to use gray for my stop. Not super ideal. It's going the wrong way, and I assume it's going to bounce and not grind down it. But it did one even better and just went straight through it. At 10:30, yeah, 10:39. I got it for 86 cents. Closed it at 10:42 for 75 or 72 cents. No, 75 cents. 10:42 on this candle. Broke through the gray. Could have been a good short opportunity there. Seeing it now in hindsight, of course. I don't know if I had this green charted in yet. Green I got from right here. I maybe did. I can't remember. But to me, this would still be a wedge trade because we have the bottom of the green to contest. Yeah. What did I say? 10:49, 10:52, 10:50 was my next one. Okay, so I closed it and quickly opened a put. 10:50. Quickly opened a put there. 10:50. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I miss a trade? Oh yeah, I did. Gotta call it 10:49 and close it at 10:50. Oh, I did it again. Shoot. That's right. I did it here for the white, and then it came down here and thinking this is the bottom of the wedge. It's fine. I mean, it was a tight stop. Opened a call there, closed it there. Yeah, and this is where I just then flipped into a put since it was actually breaking that last one. I wasn't sure if it was this or this. I had this in there, and then I changed the angle a little bit based on this little liquidity right here. So, yeah. Yeah, that one was 74 cents to 65 cents. And then on that same minute, I flipped into a put. $1.20. I don't know what happened here. Oh, I bought another one. Okay, yeah. $1.20 I bought one, and then $1.17 I bought one. Tailed into it a little bit. And then next minute I bought one for $1.19. So yeah, all right. So I averaged into a winning trade. That is good. It was pretty slow right here though. It looks nice now, but in the moment it was just pretty grindy and slow. You see these wicks, it was going green and red. And I'm like, I wanted low of day. I wasn't sure I was gonna quite get it. The 30-minute, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so we still had a gap on both sides. But yeah, so I had 3 of those. Let's see, 1050, 50, 51. Close the, yeah, this last one's kind of annoying. Close the first one for $1.38 at 1053. Just trying to get some profits on it right here. This broke my orange. I hadn't charted purple at that point, actually. I should have been more diligent in charting a bigger range. That would have been easier to hold then. Yeah, I was just looking for kind of low of day and then potentially breaking this and then green candle. So I want to take some profit though. I had 3 and it was kind of grindy down. So got a nice little fill there. $1.38. Close another one for $1.37. This was also at 10. This is also on that 1053 candle. Yeah, dang, I should have charted that sooner. Purple. I did it later looking for, yeah, when I was trying to manage another trade. And then my last one, so it came down, completed the cup. I was looking for a move down to the bottom of this white, which was then here I charted. If you chart it here, it didn't quite make it. Started to bounce. I didn't have purple charted, otherwise I probably would have closed it there or even flipped to a call. Maybe not a call since it just closed the inverse cup, but probably close the other one. Anyways, the next one I was like, all right, I'm just gonna hold it for a bit. Maybe we'll come up and retest it for a handle. And then as it's coming up, I'm like, I shouldn't let this contract go red. So I think I just stopped it for break even. Yeah, that last one I stopped for break even, unfortunately. Kind of trading as if I had 4, but I only had 3. And yeah. Yeah, not sure. Not sure how I could have done that. If I had traded this purple, that would have helped. Yeah, I guess because my sizing and how it's kind of going slow, I was a little I was a little focused on that. But nice green trade, and I'm happy I averaged into a winner at least. Next one was at 1107. Was a put. Oh yeah, I did the same thing. So coming down, I was trying to catch the bottom and think it's the bottom of the wedge, getting a call here and then here. Going up, I now realizing I was doing the same thing, trying to catch the top of the handle. I mean, I'm doing it with the charting, so it's like it's tight stops and it's logical to me with what I've charted. It's not working out. So I got to put right here, thinking this white was the resistance, the top of the wedge. I maybe hadn't charted this gray yet. No, I did. I charted that. Got put on that candle with gray being my stop. Yeah, there's a big gap below us. It just completed the inverse cup. 7. It's got it for 94 cents. Close it for 87. So a small loss on that one. Close it on this candle. And then at 11:14, I got back into a put. So then it came all the way up to my last stop, which was this gray. So I got into it. Oh, it's a little early. I got into it here. 11:14 for $1.60. This trade was actually sick. Oh, so it kind of grinded, came up, scared me a little bit, then chilled, and then came down. And then this one, at this time of day, it was like midday, and I was just like, I wanted to just set it and forget it. Naked options, you can't really do that unless it's a very small position or you've already taken up a bunch of profits. Unless you're, if I had a spread or futures, would have made more sense. But I opened it here and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hold this thing until it retests low of day, or well, here originally, and I'm like, all right, low of day, and then I was like, all right, I'll wait for the green, which actually did end up kind of testing the green, but of course it's middle of the day, so just chopping to get there. So it started coming down, and this is actually a pretty nice candle right here, and I almost took it, and I'm like, no, I should just leave it alone. So then it came back up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was looking at the profit on it, which helps so much if you're not seeing it. And I've had the contract pricing open now, just the way I have the brokerage set up and hotkeys and everything. So I've been looking at the contract pricing more, which I don't think is helping me. So I need to just not look at the contract pricing. when I start looking at that, then I just start thinking about the P&L. Because some of these, I mean, some of these I'm losing half of the percentage of it just from like a wick or slippage. Just, yeah, not closing on a green candle or a red candle, just closing on the wrong end of the candle. Like, seriously, half of them out. It's crazy. So it's good for data and just to know, okay, I really need to sell into the strength, whichever way it is. But it's hard in the moment because it's like, it makes me not want to sell then. And anyways, I didn't look at it through here, thankfully. So it came back up and I'm like, oh, I'll just stick with it. We got a nice big candle here. And I was like, okay, good. And then looking at it, I was like, maybe this green will find support on this green. This is also VWAP. And knowing there's naked option, I shouldn't just try and hold this for the whole thing. That's ridiculous, especially when we're in a wedge, just like a continuation or something like that. It's not a spread, it's not a future contract. So I think I closed it right about there. Yeah, got it at 11.14 for $1.16. Market closed at 11.27 for $1.57. So that was actually a pretty good trade. Yeah, right on this candle. VWAP, big red candle, and just timing of the day, like day of the time of day. Yeah, time of day. That's part of the reasons I closed it. Green, I figured might be a support also. So yeah, it's kind of crazy though, because it's just like middle of the chop range. That was a pretty big gain. It was like 50 cents almost. So I don't know where I was at P&L wise then. I think the account was pretty swingy today though. Yeah, I was probably the most green after that trade. Yeah, 236 max trade. So I sat out through all this. It came up. I charted gray at that point, so I liked that for the bullish controlled. I considered getting it here on this break, but I was like, you know what? I should just wait for a cup to close. Yeah. So it rallied up and the cup hadn't quite closed here. Okay. And then it comes down. I'm like, all right, well, I'll get on the retest here because it probably is not going to, once it closes the cup, it'll probably kind of go past it. You know, we might get a move up here before it comes back down. So I was like, I'll get it on a retest. And it didn't retest it. I put this gold in, but you can see I'm looking for it to retest this gray. But I mean, it's still kind of, it's still building liquidity the same way. It's just a little higher. I was like, no. Wasn't too worried about it when it was happening. Like it's big green candle. I'm like, okay, I could jump in, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait, let it close the cup. Let it close the cup. Just be patient on its middle of the day. Yeah, broke the gold. Huge candle. 642.45 to 643. So that was 1 point candle. Increased volume. So I'm like, all right, it could just be, you know, an algo little breakouts, you know, triggering stops type candle. So I'm waiting for it to retest here or build another structure with this light gray. I'm like, all right, light gray looks good. We're confident. I can wait for that. And as you may or may not know, this was a news candle. Iran saying they wanted to end the war. And so this was an insane, what did I say, 7 points, 8 points in 3 minutes. It's like on the 30 minutes, crazy. So you chop and grind for hours in a smaller range than you can do in 3 minutes. That's the market. If I was like paying closer attention to some of the news feeds, I could have probably gotten this news earlier on here and knew there's a catalyst, as well as, of course, it breaking out of everything I wanted. This was 5 day down here too. So 5 day was another reason why I had a little bit of hesitation, because that was resistance. So yeah, I didn't chase it. I could have. I didn't know the news catalyst. Otherwise I maybe would have chased it. I didn't have something buying that steep. The steepest I had was this, which it was so far off of that at that point. And I was just like, well. So I looked up the catalyst later, just because I was curious. But sometimes I catch these and it's awesome. This time I didn't. Glad I wasn't on the opposite side of it. Say with, you know, short futures, in here, and then it just does that. That is the one scary thing for futures compared to options, is just your exposure is much greater. So yeah, this could have been bad, but these candles did, of course, fuel a ton of FOMO, which wasn't good. I was like, because I literally had it. I don't even know if I maybe had a cancel in here. I maybe had a canceled order because I think I was like about to click it, and then I was like, I'm just gonna wait. I didn't have a no, it doesn't show any cancels in there, but I was on it for like this break. I'm like, well, it's close to closing the cup. I'll just, yeah, you know, all that stuff that goes on in your head. And then it does that, and I'm just like, this contracts went like 5x, I think. Yeah, I try not to look at it. It would have like increased my account by like 50%. Just that one I was looking at for right here. And I probably would have been able to hold it. I mean, at least to here. This was the gap fill like right here. But yeah. Anyways, so FOMO was there. I had to get up and walk away. I'm like, all right, before I do something stupid. Got up, left, came back, chilled. 236 was my next trade. So I charted the gray again up here. It wedged with green also. I wasn't sure which green it was. Then it just started buying up in green. And then it broke the gray. And I'm thinking, okay, rip up to high of day at least, maybe up to here. And then it just kind of stalls out and it continues to buy in green. I'm like, well, I should have just bought it supportive green. This is supposed to be a break. And it was. It just was buying green instead of something steeper. So I got the call on this candle. I think it was, let's see. Yeah, it was a limit. So it was a pretty good fill. 37 cents. The 650 call. 37 cents at 236 right here. So I got it here. A couple nice candles. I'm trying to be patient with it. But then I'm like, I'm charting. I'm saying, okay, well, this could be resistance here. I think I sell maybe there. Or maybe I hold through it. Let me see. No, I think I hold through it. Yeah, 236. I had a limit to close at 239 for 53 cents. Right here. It didn't close because that's when I saw green. I'm like, oh, maybe I should just close it. It didn't close, and it came back down. I'm like, oh, okay, well, potentially it's retesting gray, but it was so grindy still. And then when it came here, I thought about even adding to it. I'm like, yeah, without it breaking out of green, I really don't want to be adding into this thing. So I didn't, which was probably good. And then it rallied back up and actually got a better fill at 246. I got a sell for 46 cents. So right here. Yeah, I did a market order to sell. So got a better fill than I would have here, which is nice. And well, I guess if I top ticked that one, I would have gotten better, but better than I would have there. Did I say 246? Yeah. No. Wait. Yeah, 246. Okay. Yep. And then next trade. So that was a nice little, I don't know, 10 cents. Next one was at 313. It was a put. When was I getting a put? Well, I was maybe trying to front run the green break. Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. So, I got a little whipsaw in here. Seeing that's buying up in this green, which I think technically is bearish controlled buying. I don't think it's steep enough. As well as after such a big move, I thought maybe return to safety, and there's no good structure here. I mean, you kind of have an inverse head here, but yeah, it hadn't completed the cup. So like on this candle, I think it was on that one. Was that 315? Yeah, I got to put on this candle 12 cents. Wait, no. 16 cents on this candle right here, because I was gonna use gray for my stop. Looking for a retrace, a wedge trade. It breaks through. I close it on that candle for 12 cents. Very cheap contract because I was pretty far out of the money. The IV crush was crazy this late in the day though, just because IV's already high, and then the fact that it's just grinding, it was like nasty. And then at 316, market ordered. Then 316 I limit ordered for calls, 70 cents and 38 cents. Okay, so you see my thought process here. It's breaking out of the green into a steeper buying. Potentially red, maybe gold, but preferably red. You have this big candle that closed above that green. We just made this little inverse head and shoulder and it broke out of gray. Like, all right, we're breaking out. Given it wasn't quite, it just completed really high of day. Or yeah, retest a cup close. Technically this could have been a cup close though, I think. Yeah, those are just pretty volatile wicks. So this could have been the cup close and little handle. This is the breakout. And I get candle, or I get calls here. Let's see, 316. I get 1, I get 2. Oh, I get different strikes. That's why it's confusing. I got 1 for 650 and then 1 for 651 on this little retrace. And then it retraced further. And then it's kind of holding. I'm like, hold, gray, hold. Hold. And this is so dumb. This is where the Ivy Crush was gnarly. So it held here and rallied up. This is, yeah, this tilted me. And I recovered. And then this was, because I saw the prices of what was going on here in the contracts. These both almost doubled, I think. No, I don't know. They went up a lot, maybe 50%. I didn't close here. I don't know. We've broken out a high a day. I'm looking for buying up in gold, at least. Nothing in green's resistance. Anyways, I'm like, well, where should I really have my stop? And so I threw gold in here, but gold isn't actually there. It's actually here. You're looking at this wick right here. And so it comes down and it starts to look a little nasty here. And I'm like, oh man, I should just close out of it. This is such grindy action. I go to close it and my brokerage is fully just not freezing, but frozen. It's not responding. I'm hitting my hotkeys and nothing's happening. Over and over, there's a few seconds and this thing just comes, flushes down, hits my bell. It's just pinned down here. And I'm just like clicking. Finally it loads and it clicks and it closes. And then it goes whoop and comes up. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that lag was frustrating as heck. I got it for 70 cents, the first one. Second one for 38 cents because they were different strikes. Closed the first one for 49 cents. So gave back half my profit on this dumb trade. Closed the second one for 21 cents because I closed it right then also. Or no, I closed it at 328. The second one I closed a little bit later, right here. Oh, so annoying. And then it was annoying that it was actually just wicking below that line. And it was still buying up in gold. I was just, yeah. The lag on the brokerage. Getting the little whipsaw on here. Lack of patience. I could have gotten on this candle. But, I mean, of course, the best is the retrace. You just don't always get those. Yeah, could have gotten more on this. But then this was just nasty. Yeah, so those were frustrating. It was frustrating because I knew my P&L too. That's what hurt the most, and that's why you don't want to look at it. If I hadn't known that, it would have been fine. But yeah, because that first one was 20 cents, and the next one was like 18 cents. Both those contracts. So that was annoying. Turns out it was bouncing on gold, and so I reset and I got back in. I was like, screw you, market maker. I'm back in. Hit me. I feel like I was clear-headed. I just realized, okay, it actually was bouncing on gold. I didn't give it enough room. The brokerage did freeze up, which is a little concerning, but thought we still could have some kind of squeeze in today, and it broke the gray, like everything was still there. So like, all right, I'll use gold to manage. My entry, of course, here was awful compared to my exit. These contracts were doing great up here that I originally had, that I sold out of. But anyways, I bought at market for 33 cents, bought another one at market for 33 cents, bought another. Yeah, okay, this is actually a little bit of, this is a little tilty trade. I got fortunate that it actually went up after that. I don't usually do this. Yeah, so I got 3 right there. 33, 33, and 26. At 330, and then one at 331. And then, of course, it just starts grinding again and just wicking through gold. Oh my God. just make a mistake. And then we get a nice green candle. An Ivy Crush here is actually nasty. Like, yeah. Nice green candle. And I think I closed one right there. Yeah, I closed one right there for 29 cents. Which actually isn't even green. I guess it is compared to my first, like average wise. That's probably about break even. Because those other two I opened for, oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, average, that's probably break even. Which was fine at that point. I was like, all right, I should just scale down a little bit. But I was thinking it was probably a little more green. Anyways, close one right here. Had a limit to close for 45 cents. Didn't fill. And then closed another one for 47 cents. Up here. Oh yeah, I had two actually. I had a limit to close for 47 cents and then had a market on the other one. And then ended up doing a limit for 50 cents. So I closed both right here. I tried to cancel it as it was coming up. I'm like, all right, I'm trying to cancel, and it wasn't responding. Brokerage was a little laggy today. So I wanted to cancel at least one of those. I didn't want to close both right there. Seeing it now in hindsight, it's probably better I closed both. Given this was like a perfect retest, and I could have held for this where they went up to, I think, $1 or something. So went up 100%. But, you know, I maybe would have held one for that. Closing one there. Closing one here would have been smart, at least, and then maybe holding one. The thing was, is though I had this line here, this gray here. So this didn't really look like a retest at the time. I moved it up to that high, then it's a perfect retest. So yeah, those went up quite a bit with this move right here. 49.91, 651. Yeah, that's a whole point right there, just there, and that's another 1.5. So 1.5. But it's fine. These contracts I think got me just about back to probably where I was my highest time of the day. So I didn't check, but close to it. I might have been a little higher at one point, but I don't think I was much more than that. So it still ended up being green. Missed the big move today, unfortunately, but it happens. It's not. Yeah. Happy I walked away for this. Didn't get caught in this. Was able to catch this. It was just grindy up in that green. And then the brokerage lagging out kind of screwed me in here and tilted me a little bit more. And then this was a fine exit. For the final 30 minutes, like, you can't try and be greedy for the whole move. Gotta take profits and be content. Yeah, given on a retest, you could have taken another one here, but it's whatever. I mean, you could have also gotten screwed on that huge wick. So, yeah, when something like this happens, like, sometimes I'll chase it. Especially if I know the news catalyst, and because you'll get these kind of higher volume single candles, you know, middays, it's breaking through a key level or something. Doesn't mean it's going to have a continuation, though. Sometimes it'll just reverse. So that's where it's good not to chase it. If you know of a catalyst pretty early on behind it, then maybe you could chase it, especially if you have some precision to guide. The thing was, this is so steep, it would have been, yeah, it would have been fine. I could have, but it was fine. But yeah, green day. Let's see where we at. Bad. Oh, I didn't even show my trades. There they are. There's all the trades we just went through. So quite a bit of trades, I guess. Some whipsawing in there a little bit. Wow. Seems like a lot. Let me know what you guys think in the down below. How to improve. Trade less. Yeah. But how do I pick the right ones? Anyways, sub up, like up, comment down at Money6Round. Thanks for watching. Bye.